So what we have here is the whole statistical value for the height, the weight, and the age of 50 finalists of 50 meter freestyle Olympic swimmers. So we're gonna organize this whole values here. So what we're gonna do is select that, copy, and remember you have to do it in the second line, because here we have to organize the height, the weight, and the age. Yeah, exactly that. So we're gonna do here height, weight, and age. We have here organized values, the whole organized value. The same thing here, the minimum, maximum, and extent. Same thing here. What you're gonna do is select for the height the whole values, copy. Here for the height we're gonna select that, exactly that. For the weight, the same thing. This is the weight, copy. Okay, you can select for the age, copy. So what we're gonna do is, for example, we have the mean of the height of 50 meter freestyle finalists is 193.53. For the weight is 88 kilograms. Um, so for the age is 24. So for the interpretation of variance, what is the Ikar tab is equal standard deviation, if you want to write it's standard deviation. So how we gonna interpret this value? So for the standard deviation, the difference between, we have here in the height we have a lot of we have 22, which means there is lots of there is a little not a lot, but there is a variance in the between all the heights of the swimmers. There are a little bit of variation in that for for the mean, which is not 193. There is a lot of variance. To some swimmers have 200 centimeters, some we have 185 centimeters, and so on. In the weights, in the age, we don't have a lot of variation for the mean, which means they are concentrated in the mean of weight and age, which is 88 kilograms and 24 year. So the difference between variance and standard deviation, we gonna you can search it on Google. There is for instance, you have variance is the average squared deviations from the mean. The square deviation, which means it's a square deviation, which means it's we calculated in squared. while standard deviation is the square root of it, square root of this number. That's the differential calculation. In the You can see it in when we calculated the very standard deviation of the height of the swimmers. You can see that in the previous in the last videos. Both measures reflect variability in the distribution. Variability in distribution for the mean, which means there is a lot of variability. Both measures, there is no difference. The difference in calculation. Both measures reflect variability in distribution, but their units differ. Standard is expressed the same unit as the original value. So, standard deviation is expressed in the same units. For instance, squared deviations, which is the variance, we can't express it in the unit, but the standard deviation we can express it in the same unit as the original value. For instance, here we can't say here 22.01 centimeters or 30.621 kilograms, age 30 year, but here we can say here, for example, centimeter. Here we can say also kilograms. Here we can say year. And I'm gonna take only one value. For instance, here we have a lot of variations. There's a lot of variance of the values for the mean. Okay, which means there is not a lot of variance between the swimmers in both height, weight, and age. There is not a lot of variations in that. So, for instance, if we have here 50, 60, 70, there is a lot of variations exist. But when we calculate the squared root, it's only 4.433, which is mean the swimmers take attention to be competitive in this discipline for their height, weight, and their age, in order to perform the well in this discipline of Olympic swimming. And that's it for that. The next topic we're gonna talk about the Laurent's curve in Gini index, which means we're gonna talk about the details about concentration and dispersion of the statistical value, not only which is we talk about it now, which is about variance and standard deviation, but we're gonna talk about it in more specific and detailed way when we're gonna talk about Laurent's curve in Gini index. So follow me to the next topic.